The next question, the member for Scarborough-Guildwood.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Ontario is at a critical juncture. It will be remembered as one of those life-changing events with COVID-19 ravaging our province. We are at a turning point. The government's actions will determine whether we come out of this pandemic for the better or for the worse. With the 700 cases today that are positive, we're headed in the wrong direction. The people of Ontario are facing immediate critical needs like housing, food security, mental health, employment, and education. If the Premier keeps allowing the federal government to do all of the heavy lifting while he watches schools like Mason Road Junior Public School in Scarborough close because it has not received the investments that it needs, Ontario will see serious trouble down the road. Speaker, will the Premier commit today in this House to keep the legislated election date that is fixed for 2022? Yes or no?
The supplementary question.
Thank you, Speaker. Back to the Premier. The fact of the matter is that this government is not rising to the moment. It is not business as usual. The Premier can't keep touring the province, doing election-style events when we are in the midst of a pandemic. And what can the people of Ontario rely on? Because we have seen the consequences of the Conservative provincial Conservatives' indifference to social welfare before. Let me remind you, in 1995, Mike Harris's deep cuts to programs and services that anchor young people in this province resulted within a decade in the...
Government side will come to order. Government side will come to order.
If we want to avoid poverty...
Restart the clock. Allow the member for Scarborough-Guildwood to place her question.
Speaker, if we want to avoid poverty, crime, and violence that followed the Harris years, we need a Premier that will invest now in proper supports for education, particularly for young people who are at risk. We need supports in testing so that people in my riding don't have to line up for 4.5 hours without a working washroom. Will the Premier invest in the root cause of